how you were on Tanmay's YouTube channel. How did that happen?
So what happened is essentially was that
So
like
you got kicked out. You got kicked out for calling Tanmay fat.
yes.
Yeah, that's your new claim to fame now. Hello, hello, happy Holi.
Happy Holi, though this video will go
I know
1 or 2 weeks after Holi. I think we need to fix our schedule.
we do. Well,
Yeah.
that's a future Anmol and Shobhit problem.
Okay, so we have a jam, you
Packed
know, packed, jam packed. Did I say that
schedule.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, jam
Jam
packed
packed.
schedule.
Jam is packed very tightly. I think that's where the word comes from.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh yeah, you have to like put it in hot water and do that, right? Like that that thing.
Yeah,
Twist it.
yeah. Your brain is
Okay.
working a little slow this morning. Did you have too much?
It's holy day, bro. Holy day.
Yeah. You have too much alcohol on Holi.
I don't think it's called alcohol.
Okay.
Look, let's not go there.
So Shobhit, I saw you went very viral on Twitter this week with everyone pointing out how you were on Tanmay's YouTube channel. So how did that happen?
So what happened is essentially was that I was on one of the member streams of Tanmay Bhat, and he sort of used that stream to create an edit for his Tanmay Reacts videos, and he uploaded that. The recording happened, I think, in January 22, January somewhere around that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's old. But he uploaded, I think, last week or this week. Yeah, last Saturday.
Oh,
So a bunch of people saw that and like they were like, "Oh, is that you? Oh, is that you?" And so many long lost people, long lost friends have reached out that we saw you. I did not realize, man, Tanmay is so big, especially in our circle, right? Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
random people, random, uncle like people also reaching out to me. Just
I mean, that
so
shows you the scale of the creator economy in India, I guess.
yeah. Although he has like what 5 million subscribers, 6 million subscribers. Like Carrie Minati on the other hand is like 40, 45 million. So imagine
Yeah,
his
but I guess like think about like Tanmay has been part of like multiple like for better or worse like cultural moments. He was there when the whole AIB thing happened. He was there when the whole Brian Johnson thing happened. So he's kind of like intertwined in all these kind of moments that I think like maybe more than just like his subscriber base kind of at least knows of him. And then
yes,
like even if you didn't watch the reaction video and spot Shobit, but you see a reel of it or like see it on Twitter and then like, oh, that's Shobit, oh, that's Tanmay,
yeah,
and make the connection.
yeah. So I think about 30 people have reached out that they saw
Oh
me.
wow.
I'm including tweets and everything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still, like 30 people is a lot. And the video has some 3.1 million views.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think Shobit's gonna by the end of 2025, I think Shobit's gonna become an influencer. I'm
Uh,
calling it here first.
Define an influencer, I guess.
Anyone with influence. I mean, you're already an influencer in on 12th Main.
Everyone is an
Now,
influencer that way.
yeah, but like we're gonna see the blue tick on Instagram. I think by the end of the year.
Instagram, I'm not active, but essentially, yeah, so many people reached out. It was just um, like in real life, people reached out. Like they're like, "Hey, I saw you there." Like two people sort of did that. So I went to the 11 Point Club where I play pickleball.
Yeah, yeah.
There, two different people. They're like, "Hey, I saw you on Tanmay Bhatt's stream." I was like, "Okay, you remember that much?" Like I don't remember any other people who was on that stream. So
But I think you are a very recognizable person. So I think that's good for you.
yeah,
But
good.
so like, but this is from like Shobit 2 years, 3 years ago. This is not like Shobit now.
No,
Like the
no,
video
no.
was recorded 3 years ago.
22nd of January, not January
What
2022.
My bad. My brain's also working slow this morning.
Yeah, so 22nd of January, it's like two
Okay.
months, not 3 years.
ठीक है, that's not too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, what happened? So there's a friend of mine, Abhishek Damodar. Shout out. So what he did was both of us had basically subscribed to Tanmay's like membership kind of thing on YouTube. We I pay like 59 rupees or something per month, and it has I've subscribed since maybe 2 years now. Okay, he's the
Okay.
one, my friend, the one I'm talking about. He's the one sort of who introduced me. Ki this is something that he has done, and then he showed me a couple of live streams. How it happens is Tanmay records like a full live stream, and then gives that live stream. The live stream is about 1 hour, 1.5 hour. Gives that to an editor, and the editor creates like a 15 to 20 minute video out of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the live stream is there are a lot of dull moments there, but it's like there are many good jokes also, and a lot of let's say politically incorrect stuff and all those things. They are then sort of removed from the live stream, from the sorry edited video, but they're in live stream. So I was like, okay, this is something worth it for 59 rupees. Like you get to
Yeah.
see
Yeah. Yeah.
three,
Yeah.
three, one and a half,
So
one
so
and a half.
you get access to join the live stream by paying the membership?
No,
Is that
no.
the no?
So you get access to sort of chat in the live stream by paying access, and
Okay.
also watch the video. Like
Okay.
without membership, you can't watch that video.
So it's kind of like what like I mean I don't think Speed and Kai Cenat like charge for people to like join the live stream, but it kind of similar concept where like
Yeah,
they're on their computer doing shit all day. People come in, join, you pay. And I think the US model is like you pay to have your message kind of featured in the chat more.
yeah, that is also
Um,
there. So it's
Interesting.
we live stream this recording session, and there are people who are sort of commenting there. We have an interaction with them, but when we create the video out of it, we just to take like the best moments, like something like that. Okay,
Makes sense.
so for this specific live stream, so I'll just show you. I'll just tell what exactly. So my friend essentially sent me message saying Tanubi is live. So whenever he goes live, right? He texts Tanubi is live. He said Tanubi is live. He's letting members join. Okay, and then he shared the the Zoom link with me, and I was like, what? So I clicked the Zoom link, and it took me to like a Zoom page where it was like waiting for the host to let you in, like that Zoom screen. I was like, okay. And nothing happened. So I turned on YouTube, and then I was like, okay, there's a live stream going on. And he had pinned the link for the Zoom. And he was basically taking the members in and like having a chat with them. Okay. So there were
Yep.
like a couple of people who had come before me. So I was like, okay, just eating my food, watching it. And he's like, okay, let's bring somebody else as well. So he went through his list, and he took the first person who was there. The person joined, but like I think the person was not able to turn on their video for some reason. So he's like, I'm giving you 3 seconds. If you can just turn on the video, turn on. Otherwise, I'm going to the next person. So that person probably did not. And he's like, okay, next person, Shobhit. Like, what? I was like, definitely Tusra, somebody else. This is not me. This is not me. And then suddenly I hear, hello, hello, hello. I hear, hello, hello, hello. And 2 seconds later, I hear, hello, hello, hello from the live stream. It's
Yeah.
like, what happened? so, so this guy had pulled me in. So I took a screenshot of that moment quickly. Not that
Yeah.
moment, like 10 seconds or 20 seconds or 1 minute later. And then I shared on Twitter as well on
Yeah.
that same day. People thought I photoshopped myself into that video. So I was like, bro, why would I do that? Like, this is such a blatant lie
Yeah.
that I will get caught. Like, why would I lie like that?
But hear me out. I think a next viral social product, Photoshop yourself into reaction videos so you can brag about it on Twitter or Instagram. If people can like how like there was that whole phase of like oh if you couldn't make it to the Coldplay concert, we'll tag you in a reel so you can repost it on your story. I think the next version of this can be Tanmay's reaction videos. But okay, go on. Sorry for the digression.
But I think the value is in being seen on the channel, I guess. I don't know. Like that's why people reach out. Nobody gave a fuck about when I tweeted about it.
Fair.
So, so yeah, he pulled me in. There were like a bunch of problems. I did not have my earphone on, so I was getting both the audios mixed up, and it's like there were like some problems. Okay, so I just
Yeah.
got through the problem. There was a guy Piyush. I don't know if you watch the videos, but like he's a regular member, regular appearance
Contributor.
on
Yeah.
contributor. Yeah. So engineer OP or something. Yeah. So I knew him because I had met him before via a friend of mine, girl, at his one of his parties, and he recognized me, and I did not know I had met him. So I was like, "Hey, Piyush, by the way, I was supposed to say my wife is a friend of yours,
Yeah.
and I said my wife is a big fan of yours." So you can imagine, uh, not a good day to be a
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he and Piyush said suddenly, you know, guys, Shobhit is a good dancer. And I was like, oh my god, abhi naachna padega kya? Like, do I need to dance now? But but yeah, I mean, somehow, and it's so, I got so nervous because I was in my mind, I'm funny, okay?
Yeah.
I think I'm funny,
In
but
your mind.
not in my mind. I think I'm funny, but when you're put on the spot, it's so hard. So he started playing his stuff. Like one of them was like a CID this thing,
Hmm.
a CID clip. So Tanmay was like, "Sugar, do you watch CID?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so." So he's like, "Okay." Then he's like, "Sugar, what do you do?" I was like, I run a software development company. I'm a software developer." Like so boring. I was like, okay. Um, then I told him, guys, I'm just eating food right now, so like let's not get weird reels or something. The next thing was about like somebody pooping and something, so, But yeah, I mean, I was very nervous. So, and this was 22nd January, which is like around that time Trump inauguration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
do you remember?
Trump.
So
Trump coin. Trump inauguration.
correct, correct, correct.
Crypto going
So
boom. Yeah.
So I was able to make like one joke, which was
Okay.
there was a video where like a guy was talking to some other guy and he had like a bare chest or something like that. Not a bear, but like a chest V-neck kind of a chest.
Yeah.
So the guy was looking at hair and tattoo on his chest. So I was like, that's like Mark Zuckerberg looking at Lawrence Sanchez. You remember that
Oh
meme?
my God. Yeah. 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 At the inauguration.
At the inauguration? Nobody got it.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
They were like,
Wrong audience. You need to make
wrong
jokes
word.
about India.
Yeah.
Tanway's audience doesn't care about who's showing
Lol.
up at the Trump inauguration.
I think if I would have said Jeff Bezos' wife, maybe people might have got it.
No, I
Lawrence
doubt it.
Sanchez was too niche.
No, no. I think Trump inauguration is too niche. Trump coin, not niche.
Got it. So yeah, I mean that was one joke I made. Then basically we were going through memes and like kuch ho nahi raha tha. So he tried talking to me something and I was like, yeah, both of us are fat. He's like, fat? Do you think I'm fat? I'm like, see, I don't think it's not my opinion as such, it's a fact. And so he sort of played like he got offended and he sort of removed me for that specific thing. And that was like the joke, but they cut out this bit. So in the video, it just sees, it's just shown that, he just removed me. So this was the only
Okay.
funny thing I got out of it. Like
So you
I was
got
like,
you got kicked out. You got kicked out for calling Tanmay fat.
yes.
Yeah. That's your new claim to fame now. After all the Ozempic, you're still calling it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
said हाँ so I said in Hindi अरे मैं भी fat मैं भी मोटा हूँ ना तो बोलते हैं मैं भी भी मतलब क्या? I'm like, आप भी मैं भी, you know. Uh, but yeah, this was just one of those experiences that was just bizarre. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, yeah. Would you go back?
Obviously, it was like,
Okay.
why not? I think I'm better prepared because I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
After dropping off from the stream, I got so many jokes.
I mean, I feel like it's always like when you're in a nervous
Shower,
situation, it doesn't come to your mind. And then
correct.
as soon as you leave that situation, it all comes
Back,
like
yeah.
rushing in.
I went to take a shower after that. I was like, oh, this would have been a joke. Oh, this could be a joke. I was like, तब क्यों नहीं सोचा? Why can't I? Why couldn't I think of it that time?
Plus, now
So
you are a regular in front of camera, so I think you'll kill it.
I was just looking at something by the way today. I found like a very old video of mine, not very old, like
Yeah.
2020, and I was like, oh my god, I've been trying to get in front of camera since 2020, and then I realized that was my third or second channel. So I was trying to get in front of camera and like be comfortable since 2016. And I went back and looked at my 2016 videos and I was like, "Ooh, so cringe."
I feel like if you don't feel like you from a year ago on whatever medium you're working on isn't cringe, you're not like doing enough. So I think 1 year from now we're gonna think this episode was lame.
Uh, do you think any of the four episodes that we've uploaded, five that we've recorded, did you think like any of them were lame? Like
No, not
now.
not yet.
Not really.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty
But it's only been
satisfied.
like a month. Yeah, yeah,
Correct. I think maybe editing, maybe audio, but like content wise, it's been fine.
yeah. Okay, so should we move into some more serious tech or tech adjacent topics of the week?
Like FMCG.
Yes, our favorite. We love food and beverages, as the audience knows from the last three episodes now. So tell us all about Haldirams, Shobhit.
So last week, or actually maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, Temasek announced that they have purchased 10% holdings in Haldiram company.
Yeah, and I think what's also been interesting was like this deal has seemed to be in the works for like a very long time, because I remember hearing like either in 2013 or 2014 initially Haldirams was going to do like a majority stake sale with like multiple of these like PE slash larger investors, and they wanted to bring in professional management to I think run Haldirams that I think the family wasn't the biggest fan of, and I think that's why they've kind of gone for this minority 10% sale instead.
I don't know the why of it, but I was just trying to go through the history of Haldirams. There's apparently a book that has been written on them, by the way, that sort of takes through the whole story. So, by the way, there's a Haldirams, then there's Haldiram. Okay, both are different.
Okay.
Bikaji, different.
Yes.
Bikaner wala is different. Um, and then there's Haldiram's confectionaries, Haldiram sweets. Like all of these are
Yeah.
businesses
Yeah.
that are, different businesses. The hero of our story is a guy called Ganga Bishan Agarwal. Okay, he was the guy who's known as Haldiram Ji. So he started in 1919. He started like this venture in his father's small shop. His innovation essentially was he was using moat as an ingredient to create namkeen bhujia.
Okay.
So you know how we have aloo bhujia, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah. Yeah.
made of potato.
Yeah.
So it was like gram flour bhujia, like a
Uh,
different bhujia. That was like the innovation. The bhujia we have right now, like probably if you eat like a Bikaneri bhujia, that's the one that the guy came up with. So he started like in 1919 and then like in the shop and was just selling there in Bikaner itself. So it became like a big shop. People started coming from outside of the places. Like they had to set up like a unit to sell their bhujia from that shop. Like they had to have like a kind of like a factory to sort of run for that shop specifically. That's how popular it got. Um, So the guy had three sons. Okay, now this is going to get
Okay.
confusing. I don't know if you can follow me, but
Yeah.
I had to write down a lot of things to follow it. Okay. So the guy, he had three sons: Moolchand, Satyanarayan, and Rameshwar Lal.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
MSR. I don't know if you can remember that. And then they had one sister as well, Saraswati Devi.
Okay.
All the four are important characters in our story. So in 1950s, Ganga Bishan Agarwal, the main guy, the father of these kids, okay, he went to Calcutta at that time, and he established a brand called Haldiram Bhujiawala, which is a different brand right now than Haldirams.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There was another guy called Shiv Kishan who's still running one of these brands. He's the grandson of our main guy, of Ganga. And he's the son of his oldest
Son.
boy, Moolchand.
Okay.
Okay. So Shiv Kishan, who's the son of Moolchand, who's the son of Ganga. You follow?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Kishan, who's the eldest grandson, he had joined in establishing Haldiram Bhujiawala. Okay,
In
uh,
Kolkata.
in Kolkata, and
Yes.
both the younger sons essentially were running the shop in Bikaner. The one they were selling through a lot. Then after that, like the business in Kolkata sort of grew very quickly, and they started expanding from Kolkata. They went to I think Nagpur. They went to places in Maharashtra,
Delhi
uh,
also, or is that a
Delhi.
different part of the family?
So Delhi happened later, but yeah,
Okay.
they went to Delhi as well. So between 1960s and 1990s, essentially Haldiram, the whole empire sort of started growing quickly. And then Ganga Bishan eventually went back to Bikaner and handed over his reins to all his sons. So his sons Rameshwar Lal and Satyanarayan. So Satyanarayan sort of opted out of this business, and he was like, I'll create my own something else. He created Haldiram and Sons, but this was like the least successful endeavor of all the
Okay.
Haldirams that we know.
Yeah.
So he's kicked out from the story. Meanwhile, Rameshwar Lal, like the youngest one, he chose to like sever his ties from the eldest brother, Moolchand.
Okay.
And so this resulted in like Kolkata and Bikaner being two different companies,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right? Because Mulchand, the older son, was in Kolkata, and the younger son, Rameshwar Lal, was in Bikaner, and now they're like two different companies. They started having huge fights over the name Haldiram, and then there was like a big legal fight, and then one of them sort of won the case and got the rights to Haldiram and Haldirams. The one who was running the Kolkata business, the elder guy, he was barred from using the name Haldiram and Haldirams in Delhi. So the
Yeah.
Bikaner
Okay.
guy got the Delhi franchisee. So this guy went to Maharashtra. Okay, like this is
Uh,
how it sort of was working.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so then there are like a bunch of more grandkids that have come up. But Shiv Kishan, the eldest nephew, the eldest
His
grandson,
grandson. Yeah.
yeah, he is the one who's like leading the Nagpur unit, which is like somewhere around like 4 to 5,000 crores
Okay.
in
Wow.
terms of revenue.
Yeah. Yeah. But
It's like
so currently, is it still multiple factions, or I thought I heard that there is some like
demerging, yeah. So
coming together? Yeah.
correct. So now essentially we have come to a point where because of the grandsons as well and all those things, we have four different companies that are running.
Okay.
Okay, one is in Delhi, Bikaner, Calcutta, and I believe Nagpur. Okay, so two of them are essentially first they demerged. Everyone had demerged. Now two of them are merging together, and that is the entity which has raised money from
Got it.
Temasek. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
another entity which they had created, like one of the brothers had created, was called Bikaji.
Okay.
Bikaji is publicly listed in India.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so you can buy shares of Bikaji if you want.
This is do your own research. This is not financial
Yes,
advice.
yes,
Don't
this is
listen to
just
show.
a story, just a
Yeah.
story. But yeah, I mean, Bikaji is like publicly listed. But yeah, I mean, it's like a mini, I don't know, Trump kind of a story. No,
No, I mean I think this is kind of like the evolution of every like
I
family
mean,
business that kind of becomes successful and then has all these kind of like offshoots. I think if you go deep enough into most super successful family businesses in India or even the US, you'll see all this like branching or like recombination. I think when you do like when you get into manufacturing, I think it's easier to like split into verticals. I think bhujia and snacking may there's not enough depth that everyone can like own their own favorite namkeen, that everyone kind of has to do everything, which is why I assume this one's a little more tricky than some of the others. But great to see Haldirams become like a massive. I mean, it is already a massive company. I know, like it's also like just globally big now because I remember when I started going to college in the US. Even there, you have Haldirams at the Indian store, and like half the namkeen aisle is just full of Haldirams.
Do you think non-desis eat it?
Not yet. I think
No.
that like it hasn't broken into like the shelves of like normal grocery stores in the US. In Canada though, I think it might have because
Pinned hai
like
wo to.
yeah. Like Toronto has maybe like 35% of the population being Indian/Indian origin, and my mom would tell me how like you get Haldiram's mithai at the Walmart. So it's certainly like made its way at least in Canada.
But so did you like offer it to your non-desi friends there? Like,
Mithai.
no, 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 bhujia.
Of course.
Do they eat it?
Yeah.
I mean, do they
It's
like
like
it?
yeah, it's like it's a salty snack. What's not to like? Everyone loves Indian food in America, so
Got it.
I
Yeah.
think like maybe like some of the mithais are maybe not as popular, but namkeen though I think it's fairly
Is
enjoyable
it
by
is it too spicy for them or
no.
no? No.
Bhujia is not spicy. What are you talking about? Like I keep bhujia and khatta meetha. Neither of those of those Haldiram flavors are or whatever mixtures are spicy.
My favorite is Navratan mix.
Okay, okay. No, I like khatta meetha.
Okay, then after this
Yeah.
brain rot,
More brain rot. So Shobhit, you've been on a roll this week. I mean, like your tweets are also going viral. क्या क्या चल रहा है इस हफ्ते?
so last week, I don't know, man. So I think Twitter has sort of changed its algorithm to a point where it is either it is suiting my style or maybe it is just rewarding a lot of volume. But essentially, my number of tweets have been like going up and up and up for a while now, and the engagement that I'm getting is crazy. Like up till 2020, I had no tweet, let's say, that had more than 1,000 likes. 2020 to 2024, I would get like one tweet in 3 months or 6 months that would cross 1,000 likes. Okay,
Yeah.
from mid 2024 till now, I have had at least 30 to 35 of them cross 1,000
Wow.
likes, and it
Really
just
that much? That many?
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it just that's why I was just confused, and randomest a joke that I thought like it's not really funny as well. So one of the
Yeah.
jokes that I had shared recently was somebody should take Rishabh Pant as an ambassador for their
Yeah.
parent company, and Ravi Handa he said, yeah, that will be a problematic thing. The Pant community might not like
Yeah.
it and all those things. And I was like, fair. There goes your chances of endorsing Honda City. It was a joke which was like getting like 200 likes or something. So I took a
Yeah.
screenshot and I just tweeted, "Can't believe this app is free." Like
Yeah.
I was like, this is not going to work at all. But I just
Yeah.
had the instinct to do that, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that tweet has 9,000 likes.
Yeah. I have realized that sometimes like the dumbest shit you post just goes viral, and like it's either the dumbest shit or like when you're being super contro for like just the memes or kind of for fun. Like I tweeted how I don't know if you remember. I think this was a week and a half ago where that person on Twitter was complaining, "How dare Blinkit and and Zepto put ads on bags and charge us for it. And I just tweeted, "How dare a company make money?" And that got like 8,000 likes out of the like.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah,
Yeah, so I think, by the way, regarding that tweet, apparently it's illegal to charge for a bag and put ads on it. That's why they
yes,
had
it is.
service.
But
That's why,
nowhere does Blinkit or Zepto say they are charging for the bag.
yes,
They're
I
charging handling and they're charging delivery fees.
correct.
I still stand on my position.
No, no, I'm with you. The spirit of the tweet was essentially how dare they charge for it. So the randomest shit banks. So recently I was this, for some reason I opened Zepto, which generally I'm like both of us are Blinkit boys.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? But for some reason, I opened Zepto. I was like, I wanted some sort of milk which was not available on Blinkit. It was night time and Zepto had it. So I was like, what else can I buy? I saw ID batter, like dosa batter. Okay. I clicked on it and I was like, it was like a FSAI number, FSSAI number, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
like a number given by the Food Authority of India, like a license number essentially. You have to print it. The number I see over there was 1E and then plus 13, which essentially is like a representation of 10, 1
yeah.
into 10 to the power 13.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
This happens when you store a number, as an integer, which is like a common thing to do. If you're
Yeah,
storing a number,
yeah,
it's not a common thing to do when you're, let's say, storing an external ID. Like imagine storing your phone number in my database as an integer.
yeah, yeah.
Like, why would I do that? Do I need to ever like sum up those numbers or
The
something?
number, no, no.
No. Like it's a pure identification thing. So
Yeah.
I tweeted about it. Like, looks like they're storing it as as an integer or a number rather than a string. This tweet had like 3,000 likes.
I'm surprised that many people were technical enough to know what your tweet was about.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, I think some of people were like, I don't think the problem is with storing it. The problem is with formatting, which is fair.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
Which is fair, but like for a technical tweet and for versus and my audience, like those
Yeah,
things
yeah,
don't bang. Something
yeah.
has changed in Twitter where it is now rewarding you for some sort of quantity, and I
Put up,
think,
you put in the numbers, you get the metrics.
yep, it has become very. At least I feel that, and I've seen people around me as well. Sort of, the more tweets they put out, like
Yeah.
their chances, sort of something random thing banging goes up.
No, I agree because I think we've also seen like our friends who have kind of gone inactive for some period of time and they come back on Twitter and they don't get as much engagement as they used to like in like 2020 or 2019 and before. And the folks who have stayed maybe too online still are able to produce the volume throughout this period and they kind of still get that kind of engagement.
Right. Yep. I mean, that's what. So consistency and quantity. I think Twitter is
Just
rewarding this. So if
just
you're
live
trying to,
on Twitter and that's how you'll get engagement.
yeah, just
Oh,
brain rot on Twitter rather than Instagram.
it's better
But
for
yeah.
you.
But I mean, if somebody's trying to grow their audience, I think we have a moment in time right now that maybe you can leverage with like a huge volume. Just don't do
Because
like AI shit, like
yeah,
AI
I was
slop.
gonna say no AI slop because that shit is so like easily detectable when there's people in the like it's so obvious when you are running a bot account that replies to people on Twitter and like everyone hates it. So don't do that.
Correct.
Uh
I'll give you an example, okay? So I recently wrote about another company, Gully Labs, where I was like, I have their shoe, which is white from bottom. I was like, I don't feel like wearing because it's white at the bottom and it'll not be in a pristine state, and I like my stuff in pristine state. That's why I like clean my black shoes as well. Okay. So there's a guy who's sort of snarked, saying men used to go to war. Okay, like
yeah, yeah.
good enough. He has like 2.7K likes and stuff. So another one guy replied, like he has a bunch of responses. Another one guy, right? As far as Shobhit is concerned, this is war against the reality where he's walking on sand and his gully lab sneakers don't have a good footprint. What? What? Like it's so obvious this is an AI generated.
Yeah.
Not even like they did not even took the time to just review what they are
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
out.
yeah. No, no AI slop on the TL, please. Elon, kick these guys off. But if you want to get active on Twitter, I think if you put up the volume, it's not impossible to
Lost
go
you.
viral.
So yeah, so looking at brands like, by the way, did you know that DHS is Desi Hip Hop?
I did know that. I after like, well, like I always knew it. I feel like it's not the first DHH I think of because there's obviously the Ruby on Rails and what is Basecamp?
Yeah,
That's what his company is. Yeah,
37 Signals Base Camp. Yeah. So somebody
yeah.
wrote that you guys should do some big dog or some
Shameless,
song.
Shameless by Bali. So I did you ended up listening to the music video?
No, so I searched "Shameless" by Bali by DHH. I was like, what did
Yeah.
DHH do? And they were like reaction videos. I was like, what is going on? So then
Yeah.
I came back to
Well,
Twitter.
let me explain it. So, I think Bali's like one of the whatever DHH artists. I had never not heard of him, but he's
Desi hip
basically
hop.
calling out. Yeah, yeah. He's calling. He's made this like spoof music video and song where he's calling out a lot of other DHH artists. Like I don't know if it's like real beef or like he's just like it's kind of for memes, but like he's calling like Hanuman kind out and some other people I did not recognize at all. So I think the person who tweeted at us wanted us to get into beef with Indian startups. So which
Oh,
Indian startup would you get into beef with?
I think I was in beef with Byju's for a moment, but that's
Oh
pretty
really?
much it. Yeah.
Like you online? You were in beef with Byju's?
Yeah, so when they raised money from Mark Zuckerberg, I had written
Yeah.
like a very critical thread about them. And somebody from their team reached out and they were like, I am doing that. So I was not working at an academy at that point. So,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
was like an ex-employee. So they said that
Yeah.
you are
Yeah. Yeah.
doing this because you are from an academy and we will take like legal actions and all. I was like, fuck.
Well, I think you won the beef now.
Yeah. So before I won that beef, my surname was Bakiwa.
Oh,
But
okay.
no, sorry, fucked it up. Okay, let's cut this part. So well, the joke I had was essentially that I got the W in Bakliwal.
Oh my god. There is no W in Bakliwal. Oh, there is.
There is. I got a W in Bakliwal, you know. Actually, the original joke that I had thought was
Bak.
I'll come to a point where I'm like, so that's where you lost out, like Anmol. So before that situation, your name was Anmo, but then you got the L.
No, we cutting this out.
So I'm going to use this joke someday. All these things about everything Desi has me rolling about that Lahori Zeera that you had been talking about. What is
So
Lahori
okay,
Zeera?
we're back to food and beverages now. Have you ever had like Jeera soda
You
or
know,
like
like
do you
Banta.
know what like haha but like the bottled versions like the more FMCG versions of the products now are like it's I think it's called Jeera soda or just it's
Jeera
Jeera
Fizz I've
seeds
had.
in the soda and yeah.
Bindu
Bindu
Jeera
Fizz,
Fizz.
yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think a lot more popular in the south. In Delhi, we used to have this company called Aurora Lemon that also used to have a Jeera soda, and then they used to have like shikanji and all like the desi soda flavor. So Lahori Zeera is a company that sells all these like Indian flavored soda. So they have like a Jeera soda, they have shikanji, they have an Imli soda, they have a masala cola soda, and I think a couple of others. But the OG Jeera soda is like their most popular flavor. And if you go to any house across NCR, Punjab, Haryana, Even Himachal, I think you will see everyone has Lahori Zeera at home, and it's been like an absolutely like killer. I don't think they do anything in the south yet, but it's all over the north. They sell like these 150 ml bottles for 10 rupees, and I think that's why it's also kind of been a hit just across like income ranges, because you have people with like 10-20 crore homes in Delhi stocking it, but you can go to the Panwala or like at the railway station and get it as well. Incredible how different it is from all the like D2C companies that you and I kind of follow in like Delhi or Bangalore, because 95% of the revenue comes from like general trade, so small shops stocking the soda. I think like eventually all brands kind of go towards like selling offline, but the Lahori Zira kind of way of distribution was always offline, and I think they're now in quick commerce in Delhi on Blinkit, but there's a very small online presence for the brand other than like their socials. But you can't really buy it online, you have to go to your locust kirana store to get it. And they've been in the news this week because their financials for last year just came out, and they're doing 300 crores in revenue, which is kind of crazy. They're also doing 23
Yeah.
crores in profits. This year they expect that number to go to over 500 crores. I love the brand, so I'm a fan. They've raised one round of capital in 2022, where they raised from this Belgian PE kind of entity that invests like large sums in like brands. So I think they raised 20 million from them. And then I think they are in talks to raise like 500 or 400 crore this year. So hopefully sometime soon we'll see a Lahori Zira IPO. I'll apply for that.
But do you like the product?
I do, but my only problem is that it has way too much sugar, and that's why it's so good. So, guess, okay, guess 150 ml. How much sugar is in it? So Coke, like I think a 500 ml PET bottle has 30 grams.
500 has 30 grams. So you're saying 9 grams is there in 150. So you're asking now for this Zira. I think 5 grams.
12.
It's more than Coke.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's why it's so good.
I think even Sting, for example, has more of
Yeah,
concentration than Red Bull, if I'm not wrong.
I would not be surprised, because like sugar is one way to make a drink cheaper.
Sugar, yeah, and then caffeine also is I think
And yeah.
cheaper for them.
No, I think they have similar caffeine percentages across Sting and Red Bull.
So you know one story about Sting. So I went to village where my wife grew up, and a lot of
Yeah,
people were
yeah,
having Sting there, and I was
yeah.
started talking to them. I was like, "So why are you having Sting?" So these were basically people who worked on the farms, and I was like, "Why are you having Sting during lunchtime?" And they're like, "This is like a cheaper lunch. It's like just 10 rupees, and it sort of gives us all the energy we need."
It's completely changed the way we in India look at like the energy drink market, because before Sting, I think like Red Bull was like 90% of the market, but obviously it's like a 100 rupees per can kind of product, so it's targeting a very
170.
different kind of person. And Sting came out with their 20 rupee bottle, and now like 96% of the energy drink market is Sting in
Yep,
India.
yep,
So like they've
and
completely created that market from scratch, because that did not exist prior to the brand launching.
plus the calories that they are supplying per rupee is like way higher than Red Bull, and I think they sort of smartly targeted not the urban India but like the non-urban India,
Yeah,
where they let's say have a higher requirement of
yeah,
calories. It works very out, which
yeah,
works very
yeah.
good for them.
Or caffeine also, not just calories.
Caffeine also, sugar also,
Yeah.
everything.
So all the auto drivers in Delhi are big Sting fans as well. So we've certainly seen in India that like, as especially as summer is now coming up again, that beverage brands are great businesses to build in India. Uh, the only major downside is that there is a 28% GST plus 12% cess tax on carbonated beverages in India. So your there's like a pretty big difference between your gross and your net revenue in these companies.
Lahori Zeera. So when is it going IPO?
I have no clue. Think we still have several years to go.
So another big news. Starlink is coming to India and it's coming with both Airtel and Jio.
Honestly, I think this was a bit of a shock. I maybe as someone who doesn't follow telecom coverage very closely, but in the months ramping up to this, there was a lot of talk on how the government might allocate the satellite spectrum. Is it going to do an auction? Is it going to do a allocation? I think Starlink was lobbying for the government to allocate spectrum. Airtel and Jio were really lobbying the government to auction the spectrum. Now I don't know how the spectrum is going to go, but instead of Starlink coming in directly, it has kind of tied up with both Airtel and Jio to come in. The Airtel news came in first, and I think everyone was like, "Oh, Jio was screwed. Airtel's gonna kill it." And then, like the next morning, the Jio news came out too, and then everyone was like, "Oh, BSNL is screwed. You are gonna kill it." And now you have all these people who are like, "Oh, the government is supporting what is the Ambanis and Airtel and not letting Starlink tie up with the Indian-owned entities." I was like, okay, man,
No,
like,
I think the more fairer criticism is that like the auctioning did not happen at all. Like I
yeah,
think they have
yeah.
just maybe they've just given the auction rights to the people who held like the carrier rights, which are like Geo and Airtel and all
But
the
so
telecom.
is that part done, or is that part still kind of?
The news is so fresh, so new that we don't know the details yet. Another thing is ISRO was working on a similar project, which was supposed to be like the Starlink for India,
Yeah.
uh, and now nobody knows what happens to that. So that was like another fair criticism I heard about these.
Well, yeah. I
Like,
mean, like, but do you know how close ISRO was to like commercializing that? Because I do know that it took Starlink over at least like 10-20 billion dollars in capital and like a decade to really productionize this product. And I don't see any other nation state really putting in the capital to do that. So why were we going to try to build our own Starlink in the first place?
because it's a infrastructure risk. Like let's say tomorrow we have a war with China, okay,
Yeah.
and US decides to ally with China. Like we are fucked.
Yeah, but US is not gonna ally with China.
Okay, Pakistan,
Well,
Bangladesh, Sri
US doesn't.
Lanka.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, theoretically it can. Like you wouldn't have thought US would ally with, let's say, Russia, and it seems like from the news that I see that they
No,
are
well,
allying.
okay. I think we're not geopolitical experts, so let's not go
Correct,
down
but I'm
that route.
just
But I think I see your point where like okay,
criticism.
maybe it makes sense for for the country to also own some of this infra themselves.
Yep.
But then we have to properly like budget and allocate for it. Like I didn't see anywhere that the government's allocating $10 billion to build our own Starlink.
Not $10 billion, but they had, I think, allocated something to the program, and they had like a they were working with like one of the companies that forgetting the name. It starts with H, but essentially they were working with that company to sort of
HAL?
no, it's not an Indian company.
Okay, okay.
So they were trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to that program now, but yeah, I mean it's like it's still risk. I mean, see, it's like relying on BYD for let's say, or Chinese phones for let's say all the supply. Like it's similar kind of risk. You can't have that as a nation. I mean, as a consumer, okay, fine, don't
Fair,
care.
fair. I understand your point. I still think it is a little like if we aren't willing to put in the capital, then I think we can't really comment on how it's a risk because it's not like we're doing anything to de-risk it.
Yeah, I think the politicians are not thinking of it as a risk, so
Yeah, yeah.
they are
Well, I
fine.
mean, you did. I don't know if you saw this, but Minister of Technology put out a tweet saying welcoming Starlink to
Darling,
India,
deleted
and then
it.
he deleted the tweet.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe
because
there's a
of
new this. Yeah.
because of all
There's
this,
a
all these things, because they have their
uh,
own program, they are yet to sort of auction off the satellite rights and all those things. So how can you as a
yeah.
minister be like, but
Uh, but I guess what there was also, I think I saw some like criticism that, oh, who are they even building this for? Are people going to be able to afford it? Did you think that was like warranted, or what's your take on it?
I mean, so like completely remote areas, there's like, for example, you wouldn't be able to find network coverage in
Yeah,
Andaman,
yeah,
Nicobar,
yeah.
Lakshadweep. Apart from that, I think we already have it covered, is my understanding. Like, we don't really need to rely on Starlink in India.
I
Plus,
think
we
that's
we are not
fair.
like a huge country like, US or let's say Australia, where we have like huge land mass, which is like hard to sort of put towers for. We have a very dense country, so
Yeah.
the towers sort of work out for us. Again, we are. I just studied telecom in my college, but that's like
Okay.
one course. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
an expert here,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying
The,
as a consumer right now, I have, at least right now, it feels like we have like good enough, or like one of the best network available.
I mostly agree with you. I think the only place where I'm excited is my parents have a house in the hills, and they have no network out there, so I'm just excited we can possibly put a Starlink there now.
Cool, then that's our time.
That's our time. Tune in next week for a surprise, possibly.
Really? Yes, yes, yes. We have a surprise.
Oh, also, Anmol finally has a mic. We heard all your comments on how my
Audio
voice
is
was
bad.
shit. So shout out to Creo for giving me a mic, because the founder could no longer uh, tolerate my audio.
Another shout out to Ankit Kumar for CFBR.
Okay, yes, yes, Ankit Kumar. Thank you, Ankit.
Anklit. Chalo. See ya.
ठीक है.
Bye.